wish there was a way to make docs like dark mode. That'd be sweet. Can you even make Glow Dark's dock mode? Oh. Doesn't seem like it does a really good job. Huh. Oh. This isn't so bad. This is better. Whatever. Test. OBS this is a fresh install of OBS, so hopefully I sound fine. Clear enough. Alright. Sweet. Guess I should probably make sure that this is using the right headset. Alright, as always, gonna wait a few minutes for everyone to kind of pile in here. Mr. Zombro's in the chat. Oh, nice Edge Gamers Lounge background. Very clean. League and a Valorant server. There's a lot of crosstalk. Relax. His brand is very nasty. Yeah, you have time. I normally start around like 9:02, 9:03. Or if I have at least like 10 viewers. Big Pog. Alrighty. I think we're about ready to start. Every season I do this, and I swear, less and less people watch, and more people have questions on these primers. And I actually changed quite a bit of stuff this season, so. Alright. And again, my voice sounds fine to everyone. This is like I said, it's a fresh install of OBS, so. Oh, sick, you can actually refresh this. That's lit. Alright, well, here we go. Hopefully more people fill in. I will try to remember to post this to my YouTube. That way it is much more easily referenced for the future. As with everything, this is all tentative, so this is generally the direction I want to go. I would say it's like 85% done. There are some things that I need to kind of shore up, but other than that, I feel pretty confident about all the things in here. So we're going to go ahead and move on. SemiVod, I'll edit it. 1 hour YouTube video. Well, we'll see about that. All right, so the first brand new thing that we're bringing in that's completely new is the climb. So I've been doing this with our Super Smash Bros. Community for, I think I'm on week 58. So 58 weeks, so over a year. It has gone pretty well. It's a lot of fun. And then Riot came out with Champions Queue, which is very similar to the system that I made. And so I was like, wow, this just makes a lot of sense to bring it to the League of Legends community. So basically what you're going to do in October 1st, we will open the season for preseason for all the circuits. You'll be paying $25, and that $25 goes for your pass for the climb, but you can also use that $25 towards your entry dues. So later when I get to entry costs, you're going to see two prices. That's one with the pass and without the pass. Honestly, I don't see anyone just doing the circuit and not doing this. So maybe it was a little disingenuous, but it is breaking the price up a little bit. You can pay a little now and then pay the rest when it comes to your bracket starting. So the way this works is every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, we will start a bracket. And depending on how many teams are in the bracket, you will gain points based on where you finished. So if there are 4 teams and you finish first place, you will gain 30 points. Every player on the first place team will gain points. So you rack these points up every single Tuesday. And at the end of the season, there's a payout from first to 32nd. As you see, you get more rewards the more teams that play. This is also very similar to Clash in that extent, except I think Clash just always has a fixed number of teams. So here's like an example, and I just ripped this from my Super Smash Bros. So this will be updated weekly with all the points that you get. So you can see all this here. There actually are cash payouts for this. So there's $100 for first, as you see here. And then there's some other payouts here, and I'll show them in more detail. This is just a snapshot, mainly showing how the points add up over time. Although here they're all in 5 digits. These are, these are not. Again, this is just an example. The points you earn each week will be kept in a spreadsheet. When the season ends, the standings will pay out to the amount shown below. The way teams are going to work in this is it's going to be a snake draft. So team captains will be randomly selected from a pool of free agents. Captains will snake draft the remaining players left in the pool. Lowest to highest BCP for pick order. Only 2 players from the same team can be on a climb team. So it's like FN players can't like try to grab all the FN players to make a run through, unless all other options are exhausted. So hopefully only 2 people that are on a team should be playing with each other. We shouldn't have 3 or, heaven forbid, 4 on a climb team. So these are the prize payouts right here: $100 to $40. 8th through 11th gets a free jersey from our store. 12th through 16th gets 50% off a jersey. And 17th through 32nd gets a free pass for next year's climb. You'll be eligible. Oh, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, any questions on this right here? Hopefully this makes sense. It is pretty simple. Basically, you're just going to be grinding away Tuesday in houses. You'll have a new team every single Tuesday. And the goal is for the games to be done by 10:30. I know that is a work night for most people, but I don't think being done by 10:30 is too unreasonable. And that's for the winners. You know, if you, let's say you average out to taking second or third, you'll be done at like 9:30, which I think is totally reasonable. Really excited to bring this back. We used to do in-houses back when Kabas was mainly running them, and Tuesdays seemed to work for a lot of people. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. In addition to that, we're going to kind of gamify this. So you will be eligible for extra points by achieving these goals. You may only get the points for this the first time it's achieved, so you can't farm them over and over again. So the first one is Spear of Sojin, play 8 weeks straight. Titan's Resolve, 32 weeks played in a season. Precision, beat the enemy team under 20 minutes. There is no forfeiting allowed in the climb. So this is definitely doable. You're not allowed to forfeit in the climb. Bad Manner, in the game with the Dancing Rift Herald. Protege, solo kill a lane opponent, 15 plus BCP pre 18 minutes. I can only think of one time this happened. It was when Dexy solo killed Mechanical Reaper on the Malphite versus Yorick matchup. Zanya, have a KDA of 20 in a single match. Flame Horizon, 100 CS over a lane opponent by 30 minutes. Monster Hunter, still a dragon and a baron in a single game. The only time I can think of this happening was I Love Boxes in EGL versus SRC. Absolute crazy performance by him. Pentakill, announcer says Pentakill. This one was rough because I know sometimes Pentakills for some reason don't trigger when they should. But just to keep it so there's no argument about it, the announcer must say it for it to count. I know there are pentakills that happen otherwise, but we're just going to go with the announcer. Ace is when the team wipes. A pentakill is when you kill all 5 by yourself. So go back to playing Valorant, bro. And then Disruptor, CC 5 players with 1 ability. So these are pretty good. 500 points. Screaming Shopkeeper freeze and lane for 6 minutes. All right, and then I just made some bracket, some quick brackets to what these are going to look like. The plan is just to keep these best of ones for time considerations. Although as I was going through some things, the 7 and 8 team brackets run a little late, so I might have to create a different format for them. But everything else should be fine. And I can always change these. My main goal is that we're getting done at a reasonable time. So, all right, any questions on the climb? I should also state that there is a brand. Unfortunately, I have to create a new Discord for this. There's just no way around it, really. So basically, what's going to happen is at 7:45, the general lobby will open and everyone can join. At 7 o'clock, the captains will be randomly selected. They'll get a few minutes to kind of see who's in the pool, talk about what they want to do, and then the drafting will begin. I will be personally refereeing the climb for the first 2 months every Tuesday, and making sure everything runs smooth. This should be really quick and fast. There will be specific roles in here, so you can select, your main role as well, and you actually get your achievements marked. Oh wait, this is not showing up because I have the. So your roles are right here. You can select these. Your achievements are right here. I'll add those to your account once you achieve them. And then we'll have your BCP values as well. And I might add a couple extra roles in here. But basically, once you're selected from the pool, you'll be moved into the team that you're with. And it should be a pretty quick process. So, join my 324th. Yeah, unfortunately, I could not let this stay. I could not do this inside of our normal Discord because of the types of automation that I'm going to be applying to it. So it's just the reality of how it goes. All right. Moving back. All right. All right. All right. For the rulebook itself, I think I highlighted just about every change I made in here. There are quite a few changes, and I will go over them. 1 and 1.1 are the same. Burn Victim is coming back as a player officer, and Gabe Klist is remaining. Obviously, Burn Victim has been a PO before, wanting to bring him back for some of his perspectives, and then Gabe is he's sticking around as well. So, all right, so I kind of cleared some BCP stuff up. Unfortunately, every single person in the circuit is going to need a reevaluation. I will be probably mainly handling that. Only takes me about 2 weeks to do once everyone gets back to me. But yeah, so it's a rough average of your previous 3 solo queue seasons. However, this is the part that I really want to drill into people. This may vary based on reasonable discovery made by the commissioner or player officers, such as lane swapping or maining the jungle. So there are some higher elo players that I know want to play in major, but they want to play on a super off role so they can play in major. And I think there's some merit to that, like if Kino was like, yo, I want to play support and major, I'd be like, okay, we can figure something out. I think that's fine. Oh, excuse me. I think that's fine. We just gotta figure out a way that we think is equitable to everyone. And then I wrote this down because I want it to be written down, but until the jungle changes come across in season 13. I know they're about to just completely wreck the jungle, but as it stands right now, the jungle is incredibly. The jungle gap and the circuit is obviously we look at Zetter, but we can see it a lot, and we just know it in competitive teams. The jungler, it has considerable more weight. Can have a BCP of 69. It has way more weight, and so I definitely will be taking that into account for people's ratings. And yeah, that's just that simple. And I talked to some players about this, and pretty much everyone is in agreement. Even junglers are in agreement that it's like, hey, if you got all things being the same, two Diamond 2 players, and one's a Diamond 2 AD carry, and one's a Diamond 2 jungler, and then the rest of the team's the same, you take the jungler almost every time. So um, I'm not saying that you'll automatically get a penalty for being a jungler, but that's something I'm definitely going to be looking at more critically than before. Um, yeah. And I'll always be working with players. I don't want a player to get a rating and they're just like, dude, this rating is absolute dog shit and I hate it. I mean, if that's the case, then I feel like either they're acting in bad faith or I'm just completely um, uneducated on why they're thinking that. And that's why I bring in other players from the circuit to help me out with that. Um, Circuit points are basically the same. I did clarify that you can get 65 and 75s. That technically wasn't written in, but IPT's jungler Kennedy Zong actually was a 65, even though that wasn't written down that could exist. And then I did up the upper cap of our Challenger to 85. Not even Zutter would go there, but I just added it in. So 85 is the new cap. Unfortunately, we only had around 20 people vote, but I know a lot of people that didn't even vote that told me they would prefer best of threes coming back. So we are bringing best of threes back. If now to bring best of threes back, we did have to make some compromises. I cannot have every single game cast. Instead, I'll be making sure every single team is casted as much as possible. But I just can't have every single game cast. We don't have the talent, and we don't have the funds to do it, frankly. But I think this is going to be a good compromise. If we have 8 to 11 teams, there's just going to be one pool. It's just going to be a really big round robin. However, if we move up to 12, 12 to 16, we will do 2 pools. And if we do 2 pools, we will have a draft show. So, and we are planning on doing a single round robin bracket for either 1 pool or 2 pools. I don't pay me enough to cast every single game. Maybe if my Twitch channel get more subs, though. True. All right, so playoffs would be best of 5s. Top 6 teams in each bracket will face off in the playoffs, and finals would be a best of 5. All right, minor bracket. So every season, I kind of look back and see what was the big fuck up that I made, and it was definitely a minor bracket last season. RG just absolutely stormed through that group. And I don't hold it against them. They didn't know that they were going to storm through that group either. Although it should have been kind of obvious to me. But that was just a lack of experience with minor there. So I brought the point cap down from 190 to 165. That will bring down the average quite a bit, quite substantially. And then the next big thing is that no player 45 BCP or higher may compete. So if you remember that 40 BCP is kind of like hard stuck plat 4, like maybe you hit plat 4 each season. Yeah, that's what this is. So, yeah, we're not going to be having high plat players in minor. I don't think it's appropriate. And yeah, I think this will bring it down to where the average should be like gold 3, gold 4. Silver players aren't getting completely gapped. And this will help us bring some fresh blood in and hopefully people that want to join major. So the major bracket will support a maximum of 16 teams this season. 16 teams is a lot. Keep in mind that I mentioned this before. This Discord is now public. There's quite a few people in here who don't even have roles yet because they haven't been through a free agency period. And then we will be marketing this circuit on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So there will be quite a few new people that have no connections really to other people. This circuit is always been word of mouth. Um, so we're expecting quite a few more teams. I'm 90% sure we'll have 12 and 50% sure we'll have 16. I doubt we're just going to have an 8-team major. That doesn't even make sense, especially with the phase overview that I'm getting to. We're going to have like 12 major teams, which is super exciting. I want more major teams. Major is super, super fun to watch. So they're probably the most competitive games in the circuit. Um, all right. The major bracket will support a maximum of 16. I'm going to keep its point cap of 240. I think 240 is totally fine. And major bracket teams. Oh, wait. That's old verbiage that I did not delete out. All right, so here's the new thing on major. I don't know, Ultra this season was pretty good to watch. It was. But the thing with Ultra is, I don't know, maybe you're right. Major and Ultra are both super, super fun. You're right, yeah. It is nice to know that RSH can definitely bleed. Yeah. No player 70 BCP or higher may compete in the major bracket. And then no jungler 65 BCP or higher may compete. So that is again kind of going in line with what I said earlier about junglers. I just feel like in major, if you have a Diamond 4 jungler versus a upper master, lower GM, I don't think it's a situation that people would really shine a light on. They'll be too happy about that. So I'm thinking 60 points is going to be the highest level player of a jungler that we're allowing major. Again, I am open to changing this if I get a lot of backlash, but I seriously doubt I will. As of right now, I think there is only 2 junglers, which I would even put at this. So that would be Zutter and maybe Midnight. So yeah, it's not something, but it's going to protect the circuit from the inflood of new free agents coming in. So, and then Ultra Bracket will support a maximum of 6 teams, same point cap of 300, and there's no BCP restriction on any sort of player that enters in Ultra. So, you want to bring a top 10 challenger player in Ultra, go for it. It's going to cost you 85 points, but go for it. All right. Oh, okay, yeah. So, game start time. It's going to be every Saturday. And then we are going to have 3 slots, an A slot, a B slot, and a C slot. And by the way, if people are open to moving the circuit to a Sunday, I am open to that as well. I know for some people, Saturdays are really, really hard. Gilio, I think Mega Man, Deadpool Gambit. There's a couple other players who are telling me, like, yo, playing on Saturdays is extremely difficult for us. And I totally get that. But again, I'm also making the season considerably shorter than the past seasons we've had, and I'll get to scheduling in a little bit. But if Sundays, if enough people are like, yo, Saturday and Sunday work for me, it might be worth moving to a Sunday schedule. I just need people to let me know, because if people aren't whining about it, that means they don't care enough. So, and then it is just going to say Saturday it is. So let me know if both days work for you, because if I can move it to Sunday, I will. If more people can play on a Sunday than a Saturday, then I will. In my mind, Saturday belongs to the League of Legends circuit. It's the most premium day. But again, just let me know. All right, so every Saturday, a time slot. Every Saturday, the A time slot will be 3 p.m., the B time slot will be 5 p.m., and the C slot will be 7 p.m. Okay, so This gives 2 hours for a game to be played out with breaks for the casters and all that type of stuff. So A and B slots will be casted in the studio every single Saturday. All other teams will start their matches on the C slot. And so to give an example of that, what that looks like is, two teams are playing here on A, two teams are playing here on B. All the rest of the teams start at the same time. This is to give some consistency to everyone. Now I know there is a window from 3 to 7 when your game will start, but it is on the same day. And there is no changing this. Once this is set in, you're going to know your times months ahead of time. So teams can totally schedule and plan this around. But this will keep the games going and keep us efficient and not keep people up too late or take too much of their time up on their weekend. So, and again, I want to stress that this is going to be a shorter season than we're used to. I've already actually made minor schedule, and it's from 1-7 to 3-5. It's literally 2 months, and it's 5 weeks of groups, 1, 2, 3, and 4 weeks of playoffs. So it's gonna be short. Because I know a lot of people get burned out from these circuits, and honestly, I don't want people burned out from something that's supposed to be a lot of fun. So there are absolutely no reschedules or remakes unless there's a medical emergency. Teams are expected to have a healthy substitute roster, and I'm going to go really, really hard on this year, harder than I probably ever have. I mean, I literally need a doctor's note because I want to keep this clean and crisp. And you got to remember, there's going to be a lot of new teams joining, and I don't want them. I don't want them to think that there's wiggle room. So, however, I am, because I'm going to be so hard set on the no reschedules or remakes, I will be allowing 2 times for a team to have unlimited imports, just in case the worst of the worst happens. So teams may get 2 import chiplets to break the fielded import rule to help with scheduling. The commission may deny approve the chiplet based on the competitive integrity conflicts, i.e., using your chiplet to make the strongest possible team in a match that matters for standing. This will not be tolerated, and teams should avoid any appearance of doing so. I think you can understand what that means. I will be monitoring this. This is not a get out of jail free card for a hard matchup. So yeah. All right. Everything with team requirements is basically staying the same. 12 players or maximum amount of roster. You must have 7. They're major only. There will be a small free agency period in the middle of the season, but I do not know what that looks like. But you can expect there to be one. I don't know what it looks like yet. I don't know what the conditions are going to be. It's probably going to be a conservative one. Maybe we allow one person to bounce per team, something like that. Here's a big change as well. This change is affecting all the circuits. So this is also affecting Rocket League and Valorant. We are changing to a primarily Wisconsin event, not a Midwestern event. So you must live in Wisconsin or touch Wisconsin to be considered a resident moving forward. Of course, anyone else that doesn't meet these is going to be granted tech residency. So all of our Kansas friends, people in Ohio, people in the Dakotas and stuff, they're going to be fine. But new people coming in, yeah, you need to be touching the state. So Um, Slight change on the roster lock-ins. If a roster move is made after the window, the opposing team may take a 10-minute extra minutes to reevaluate the offending team's new player. If captain lets their players know their players are up in the air on availability that will be taken into consideration. I don't want to be pulling bans away from a team's if someone does a last minute substitute. Um, does touching Wisconsin mean touching grass? Because I don't know how many do that. Definitely not me. I don't want to be pulling bans for last minute substitutions. Basically, every single time that has happened, it's like one player slept in and it's not the team doing it, and then they lose bans. And I've just seen the behavior enough where I feel like I'm punishing the team too hard for an individual player's mistakes. So, um, what I'm probably going to do is consider this a conduct unbecoming and fine the individual player. Um, and I don't want to be taking it out on the team anymore because it's happened too many times where one player's just slept in or took a nap and fell asleep or whatever, and they just screw their team. And I'm really tired of that. So if I had to change this rule, I will, but I'm just going to keep it as is. Entry fee and prize pool. I added this that payout is 90 days from each bracket's final. This has always been our modus operandi, but now I put it in writing. I don't know why. I think I used to have it in writing somewhere and I must have deleted it. But anyways, payout is 90 days from the finals of the bracket that you're in. And then here you see the price, but it's always cut down $25 if you're playing in the climb. And like I said, basically anyone who's ever played in the circuit is probably going to want to play in the climb. So, really, this is the price you're going to be paying. But yeah, and then the payouts are right here. And this whole rulebook is in the Discord. Right now, I actually uploaded it yesterday, so you can view this already. But you'll see excuse me, we got some good money for prize pools. You'll notice if you do a little math that the arcade is keeping 15 to 20% depending on how the numbers work out. Every single season has actually cost the arcade money. We have never made $1 off the circuits, and it is time for us to start becoming a little profitable. I spent a lot of time, especially in season, working on this, and frankly, I got a salary to pay, and I got to justify doing all this. So we are going to be keeping a little off the top. Obviously, we're a business; we need to generate some profit there. So, some fun things that we're adding in to the bracket. Undefeated set in groups. Only RSH did this back when they were in a major thing. So I'm not even sure if this is ever going to happen, but you will get $50 added onto your prize pool, $50 per player. And then and this has unlimited redemption. If your team does a perfect, no deaths, and no objectives taken by the opponent, you will get a $20 RP gift same day. I'll be giving this out same day. Also, if you just have no deaths on the team, you'll get a $5 RP gift same day. So these are some extra bonuses for playing well. All right. No use of pro draft is allowed except for minor. I know it takes some extra time, but there's so many minor players who don't own all the champions. And we've had quite a few players get their accounts banned and absolutely screw over their team. Again, I want to try to avoid that. So we are now going to be finding the individual player and then allowing them to submit a new account. The new account needs to be as close as your old name as possible. or like, like let's say my account was banned, so instead of EGL Vindy, it would be EGL Vindicator or something like that. We'll just get it really, really close. That way people can easily recognize you. Um, but yeah, and the fine is not to exceed $50. But I'll tell you right now, it's going to be $50 because it's just bullshit to get your account banned. Um, yeah, I think it's happened like 4 times in the last 5 seasons, and there's no reason for it. It's completely avoidable. Frankly, just play on an alt if you're gonna play with chat on. There's just no reason to be typing like that. Um, so, anyways, all right, and then everything else is basically the same. Banskender here. The game will be remade. Used to be there were bans for this. We're just gonna remake the game, and then everyone shames you. So, true ninja. Yeah, if you can't control yourself, just don't even play a league. So yeah, that is the overview for season 6. Um, basically, I don't think I actually covered it in phase overview. Um, yeah, because each bracket. So yeah, minor is going to start in January, and it'll run through early March. We'll take a couple weeks off, and then major will start. Then we'll take a couple weeks off, and then ultra will start. Now, not written in here because I'm still figuring it out, and it's not necessarily mission critical. So that basically means that major isn't starting till around late March or early April. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, that's still a long time from now, and season 5 has already been done for about a month and a half. So what is there for us to do? If you'll see with some of these payouts have to break into the next tier. Okay, so if we only have 10 teams, the payout's still 2,400. We will be using any of the extra money for prize pools for day tournaments. So, in addition to like Tuesday stuff that we're doing, we'll set up games that will be casted online, and we'll set up day tournaments where we can give you cash prizes for those day tournaments. So that will help keep the teams busy. And we might do fun shit with it, like, okay, Noxious versus Noxin versus Demacia, Shurima versus Freljord, something like that, where like each team can only use these champions. And we'll do something like that. So that stuff's coming. We'll probably be doing like $20 a head for those games, and we'll spend the money that way. Because I know ultra players and major players, they're gonna have to wait a minute to play. So I still want to give them an opportunity to do some fun stuff with their team. Playing Tuesdays, scrim. You get to scrim with your team, play Tuesday and houses with the climb, and then have some one-off day tournaments online that you can win a couple bucks in. Um, so yeah, this year I'm really trying to push the circuit instead of just towards competition. Um, I want competition obviously to always be the focal point, but I'm trying to get some more fun in the league. Um, so I think that'll help too, and also give some people a chance to win something who haven't been able to win something before. Um, I think the climb will surprise you with who comes out in the top 32 because it is a snake draft. So it doesn't just mean like the top 10 best players are going to get the most points. And also participation matters. Showing up matters. It starts to add up. I've seen it a lot um, with these players. Like this stuff matters. Just showing up gets you up on here. So, yeah. Any questions before I end this. Wow, 40 minutes, that went by super quick. Mm. And again, I will be posting this to my YouTube. And then I'll have the link somewhere inside the Discord so people can refer it and share it. How do I get the last 45 minutes of my life back? That's the fun part. You don't. Alrighty. Well, cool. Thanks for the 6 to 8 people who joined me. Yeah, it's a lot less than I was hoping for, but it's fine. Every time someone asks me a question, I will just direct them to the rulebook or this video. So, and wow, this really is a League of Legends circuit. Big pog. All right. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys soon. Peace.